election to vice president of membership. As the vice president of membership, you're going to create a climate to attract new members and a climate to keep the current members engaged, excited, and happy. Tammy is going to just place my contact information in the chat box right now for future reference if needed. Feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions after this, or if we run out of time during the Q&A and you don't get all your questions asked, you can feel free to reach out to me. Our agenda today is the 3 R's is what I call them. We're going to talk about the VPM role, VPM responsibilities, and VPM resources. How's that for an alliteration, right? And our objectives for this evening are identify and understand your role, fulfill your responsibilities, and then we're going to share some resources and best practices that can help you succeed. Throughout the presentation, I'll sprinkle in some best practices that I found to have been good for me, and I want to be able to share them with you. So before we get started, I just want to take a quick poll just to get a feel for our attendees' makeup. We'll also place this poll question in the chat box if you're on your devices and can't see the poll question. So Tammy, go ahead and launch that poll question. So the question is, how many times have you served in the role of VP of membership? This is my first time, 2 times, or 3 or more times. Go ahead and make your selection and then hit the submit. And Tammy, you tell me how the responses are coming in for the number of folks we've got on tonight.
I believe everyone has now answered the poll question.
Okay, let's see the results, Miss Tammy.
Can everyone see the results?
All right, this is a nice mix of folks. We've got a couple that this is my first time. We've got some that have served 2 times. That's about 38%. And then we've got some that have served 3 or more times. So with that, you seasoned Toastmasters that have served in this role, I'm looking for you to just help and place in the chat of things that have worked for you so that folks can get a good wide spectrum of information and input. So your VPM role, let's talk a little bit about your VPM role. First, I just like the folks that are here to just put in the chat. What do you think the responsibilities of the VP of membership are? Go ahead and just place some responses in the chat box. What do you think the role and responsibilities are?
We haven't got any questions. Roles in yet. No one's okay. Maintain and grow membership. Greet and encourage and engage new members.
Right, great. Those are great. Those are all great responses. Any other thoughts?
Recruiting potential members, welcoming new members, helping to grow the club, attract new people, keep existing members, starting to seek out and engage potential new members.
Wow, you guys are rocking tonight. And all of those responses are absolutely correct. I just want to go ahead and give you the official description from the Toastmasters Club Constitution. So your role as Vice President of Membership, as stated in the Club Constitution and Standard Bylaws by Toastmaster International, is the Vice President of Membership is the 3rd ranking officer behind the VP of Education and the President, and is responsible for planning, organizing, directing, a program that ensures individual member retention and club growth and individual membership. The vice president of membership also chairs the membership committee. So as VP of membership, you're going to recruit new members, conduct membership contests, assist guests, process membership applications. Everything you do as vice president of membership supports the club mission. So now let's just take a closer look at your roles and responsibilities from three perspectives: the club meeting, outside the club meeting, and the executive committee. And I just want to add that some people just think, oh, that's just the VP of membership role, but every person in the club's role is VP of membership. Every person in your club should be an ambassador for your club. They should be championing your club. They should be recruiting members. They should be inviting others. It shouldn't just be on your shoulders to farm out and do all of those roles. It's everyone's responsibility. So Tammy, I just want to launch another poll right now. I just want to kind of get a feel for how the clubs are meeting in this pandemic environment. So let's launch that poll. So the poll question is, how does your club meet? If you belong to several clubs, choose one club to provide your response. Do you meet in person with social distancing, via Zoom, and other virtual meeting platform like Microsoft Teams, or maybe a hybrid combination of both in-person and virtual? Go ahead and make your selections. And how are those responses coming in, Ms. Tammy?
I believe everyone has finished. I will share the poll results.
Thank you. Wow, so no one is meeting in person. Pretty much about 56% are meeting via Zoom. A couple others are meeting in a different platform. And then there's 22% that are meeting kind of in a hybrid. So that's really interesting. And since we have such a large percentage that's either meeting in a hybrid environment or via Zoom, I'm going to try and incorporate some virtual solutions and best practices in a virtual online environment. So even within the club meeting, your responsibilities are broken into 3 areas: before the club meeting, upon arrival at club meetings, and during club meetings. Now, as you look at this, some of this says have a few guest packets. Well, and they give an item. All of this stuff is virtual online via PDF, but this PowerPoint was created, of course, when we were actually in an in-person environment. But I always encourage everyone before the meeting, invite broad and wide. Who should you invite? Colleagues, co-workers, church members, family, friends, associates, people that are in other organizations with you. Just cast the net wide to inviting folks to your meeting. And then equip your members to invite. Maybe provide them with a little business card that has your information on it, or you can give them a short script that they can use to invite someone and they can feel comfortable practicing and inviting others. Prepare in advance to make your meetings fresh, fun, and fulfilling. A positive club environment is going to draw others into your club. There's two things that we've added in our own club, Nubian Voices. One of those is called Holla for a Dollar. And what that is that toward the beginning of the meeting, our members can sign up and they have 2 minutes to talk about anything for a dollar. For business owners and those that are part of other organizations, it provides a great opportunity for them to speak and market and just share information. Guest packets, we'll share that a little later in the presentation, but we'll provide you with a welcome packet as a sample. That's a virtual one that you can place in the chat box in your meetings. At our club, we use SurveyMonkey to provide a link to our virtual guest log because we no longer have that actual book. But SurveyMonkey has changed some of its functionalities that were free. They're no longer free. So now we've moved to Google Forms, and we have our virtual guest log via Google Forms. And Tammy is going to place a link in the chat box so you can see an example of what that looks like. I also want to just share some of the things that we did last season to really attract and engage, attract new members and keep our current members happy. From August 1st through September 30th of last year, during the membership building campaign for the Smedley Award, we did a Fall in Love with Toastmasters campaign. One of the things that we did was an evaluation mini workshop. We found that some of our members were not really comfortable giving evaluations. We wanted to equip them with giving stronger evaluations. Michonne Lloyd, who is a DTM, was our facilitator. She did an awesome job. It was an interactive workshop and it was very well received. So I just want to give a shout out to Michonne for those of you who may know her. Our Toastmaster family has so many folks that are ready to just jump in and help you and assist you with anything to make your club successful. On the next slides, I'm going to share a couple of other things that we did to make our meetings engaging. In October, we did a spooky speech-a-thon. Sometimes your members need to get, their educational things in, but there's not enough time in each meeting. So we did a speech-a-thon. So all evening it was just speeches. So people could do their speeches, get their educational credits, and have a fun time. People dressed in costumes. We had prizes for the best costume, prizes for the spookiest, scariest speech. And that was a lot of fun. And our club members loved it. I market a lot in LinkedIn because it's a professional platform and Toastmasters is a professional leadership organization. So for me, it makes sense collaborating with our VP of Education. The next thing that we did in November was a Wakanda night. We did this paying homage to Chadwick Boseman. His birthday was in November 28th. So we wanted to do a Wakanda night. It was a theme night. People dressed in their Afrocentric attire or the movie Black Panther attire. And we had just an awesome time. The last thing that we did in December was leadership night. We did this because the officers' elections happened in December. And we wanted to increase the awareness of leading and serving, get all of our officer roles filled. And we were honored to have Major General Andre Berry, who is the Adjutant General of the Nevada National Guard. He was our guest speaker, and he spoke about servant leadership. So I encourage you to huddle together with your officers, especially your president, your VP of Education, your VP of Public Relations, and brainstorm some innovative themes to keep your clubs fresh and fun. and then build a calendar out for the whole year, the whole term. I believe that advanced preparation is the key to success. Last year, Tammy Green was our VP of Education. I was a VP of Membership, and we were joined at the hip. We collaborated very closely to keep our club fresh and interesting. The result, for 3 years, our club has been President Distinguished. So what do you do upon the arrival at club meetings? As VP of Membership, I encourage you to arrive at least 20 minutes in advance. You want to be there to greet guests. You want to be there to make sure that all the links are ready to be posted in the chat boxes and to just engage with the members, to welcome them, to say hello, to make them feel like we're glad that you are here, that you decided to spend this hour or hour and a half with us. So make sure that you arrive early. Now, Tammy's gonna place our virtual guest packet for Nubian Voices in the chat for download so that you can see what ours looks like. And it has pretty much what an actual guest packet would have in it. We send the membership application separate, but feel free to download that and see that as an example. As a best practice as VPM, you should send a private chat to welcome each guest and ask them to complete the virtual guest log. If you're in a normal environment, the normal thing would be you would go over, show social distance, and welcome them and provide them with the membership packet. This is all about relationships. Seek to connect and build relationships with your guests, as well as with your potential, as well as your members. And remember, make it a big deal when someone joins your club. Get all excited and welcome them and make them feel like they're part of something special. Another thing that we do in this virtual world is that you can send greetings. You can send greetings to each other, like on the anniversary of their Toastmasters membership, or for birthdays, or for something special. There is a special greeting that you can do. It's called group greetings. And I think Tammy's going to put that in the chat. But I just also want to take a minute just to ask you, what are you doing in your club meetings to make them fun and exciting? Just place some things that you're doing in the chat box so that others can see and you can share some of the innovations that you're doing. After the club meeting, what do you do after the club meeting? Well, you meet with guests to answer questions. This could be a phone call or a quick Zoom call. Invite guests to join the club or to attend another club meeting. Our president last year, we had a person that was attending, they attended 2 or 3 times, and then finally she just asked them, would you like to join our club? So some people are just attending, and they're not actually joining until you make the ask. So make sure you're asking your guests to join you. Assist the guests in completing their membership application, and then I do a proper handoff to the treasurer to gather the payment. For me, this helps them know that leadership is working as a team in our club. Best practice, develop a system for performing your role. Develop a consistent system for performing your role. And then follow up with guests that come to your club within 48 hours. Strike while the iron is hot. Make sure you connect and follow up with a guest within 48 hours of attending your club meeting. Outside the club, conduct membership building program and efforts. Promote the club with a goal of adding 1 new member per month. Promote achieving 20 members by year end. Now, this is the Toastmaster year end, which is June 30th. Promote your club with membership building programs that I mentioned. Within January, you should be doing an open house. We have our open house scheduled for next week on February 4th. And then there's the beat the clock to really add more members. And that happens May to June. Some other creative things that you can do: have a joint meeting with another club. That's kind of neat. Have a speech-a-thon like I shared. And then virtually visit another club outside of your state or region. I say that when you go, you grow. So try and visit other clubs so that you can see what they're doing and then bring it back to your club. And then it's important to just make sure that you follow up and keep track of your guests. And that guest log will help you do that. When we went to another club and we had a joint meeting with another club, they had a fun role called the quiz master. And this quiz master actually listened intently throughout the meeting. And then at the end of the meeting, asked different questions, maybe something that was in the speech or the quote of the day or within table topics. It increases listening skills. So we've added that as part of our overall club agenda meetings. Outside the club, how do you find potential members? They're everywhere, as I mentioned. The neighbors, your friends, your church members, your colleagues, each one reach one. That's what I say, the power of one. If every member would just reach out and gain one more member, your club will stay healthy and vibrant. And then keep inviting folks. They may not attend the first time, but keep inviting them. When I attended Toastmasters the first time, I worked at NV Energy. It was Nevada Power at that time. I went the first year I joined the company. It took 14 years for me to finally join Toastmasters. So keep asking, keep inviting. And then your marketing and outreach. You should be working with your VP of Public Relations, marketing, leveraging social media, leveraging LinkedIn and Facebook and other social media platforms. Maintain your club website. If you're not meeting in person, make sure the information on your club's website is accurate. And ensure the location and time is accurate on the Toastmasters World Headquarters site. And then you should be attending your club executive meetings. This is where you're going to be sharing about what's happening. You're going to be updating officers on strategies, things that you've done to connect and add members and keep existing members engaged. And then I kind of talked a couple of slides ago, but you can think about sending virtual birthday cards because you can't really connect in person now, but you really want to make people feel special and included. So there's that group greeting meeting, groupgreeting.com. It costs, there's a small cost to sending a card, but you're able to electronically send the card to all the members in the club and they can sign it and type sentiments, and then the person actually gets the card. Other things to do outside the club: attend and vote in our area council meetings. Arrange for coverage when you're not able to attend the meeting. Make sure that somebody that's part of your committee or another officer is there to cover your role. Make sure guests are being welcomed. Make sure everything is still going smoothly for the VPM roles. And then prepare your successor for office. This could be someone on your committee, or it could be another club member who's expressed an interest, or it could be it could be a potential, it could be someone that's just kind of on the sidelines and not really participating in the club. Maybe they just need a tap to say, hey, would you be interested in this position? Explain what it is, the commitment and the time. That's all a lot of people need, to just say yes. So within the executive committee member, that's where you're going to organize and organize and plan and your membership contests. That's where you're going to kind of brainstorm it all together, and you're going to report on your club membership, and you'll be able to see that information because it is in Toastmasters Central. It's in that area, and because of your role, you will have access to that information. So now that we've kind of talked a lot about your responsibilities as a VP of membership, what do you think is the most important role as a VP of membership? If you had to just choose one thing, what would you think the most important role is for VP of membership? Go ahead and just put some items in the chat box. What do you think the most important role is?
Growing the club.
Okay. Oh, someone has a question. What was the particular item that finally persuaded me to join after 14 years? I believe it was the leadership track that I was on, and I would be attending meetings and presenting information. I wanted to be able to present it in a more confident manner. And so I really can say that attending Toastmasters really helped my path in my career. The job that I was taking required a lot of speaking internally and outside the company, and I wanted to be a good spokesperson for the company. Good question. Thank you.
We have other people stating that members being excited to be members, keep engaging new current members, encouraging people to join.
All right. I love that. All you have to do is tap people. People just want to be tapped and feel like they're included. So now, how do you fulfill your VPM roles? How, when, who, and what? I say that now that you know what your responsibilities are, how are you going to go about executing them? You put the most important role that you felt. One of the things that you should do, especially since this is January, is you need to put together your game plan. You need to put together your goals. I say that a goal without an action plan is a daydream. And an action without a strategy is a nightmare. So how will you fulfill this responsibility? When will each action be completed? Who is available to help you? What material and resources can you use? Create your action plan, write it down, read it out loud, share it with the executive committee, and then put legs to that vision and run with it. You got to write it, then you're going to read it, and you got to run with it. Write it, read it, run with it. Make sure that it's written. Things in your head really never come to fruition. You got to really write that down and say it out loud and figure out, okay, what do I need to do to make this happen? I'm going to share a checklist of things that I think can help you within your roles and responsibilities. There are several resources for the role of Vice President of Membership. So let's take a look at that. One, you've got to attend the district sponsored club officer training. You're doing that now, so check. Read materials. You need to read materials. There's a lot of materials that's on the actual Toastmasters website. There is the Club Leadership Handbook, the Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Program. All of that stuff is on the website, and we're going to show you how to get there in just a second. You want to make sure that you've met with the outgoing executive committee so that they can share any best practices and things that will make your role easier. You want to make sure you've met with the outgoing president so that they can hand off any information that you may need. And then you want to meet with the current executive committee. I would encourage you to invite 1 to 3 members to serve on a membership committee. This is going to help you with your succession planning, and it's going to help you bring some diversity and innovation to your planning. 3 are better than 1. Lots of collaboration is really great. So I encourage you to tap someone, even if it's just one other person. Now, out of full disclosure and transparency, I did not have a committee, but I worked so closely with Tammy, our VP of Education, and Diane, who's our VP of PR. I worked really closely with them in executing a very strong program for our club. The next bullet talks about conducting a member survey, and it's called Moments of Truth session. That information is also out there on the website, and there are various senior level Toastmasters that can help you conduct that. But you kind of want to see if your members are happy. Do they like the way the meetings are? Would they like something different? Is the timing great? You want to make sure that you're serving your members and not just doing things because they've always been done that way. That's the worst thing you can do for your club. Well, we've always done things this way. Make sure that they're deriving the results that you want to for your club. And I always say R&D. There's nothing new underneath the sun. R&D is rip off and duplicate. You don't really have to recreate the wheel in Toastmasters. Clubs and folks are just willing to share. Take what they have, shine up that wheel, add a spoke or, some nice hubcaps, and then you're rolling again. So R&D, rip off and duplicate. Create some wonderful guest welcome packets, and then order any materials that you need off of Toastmasters, toastmastersinternational.com. Tammy's going to place some resource links from other clubs in the chat. This one district, District 4, had 106 ideas for retaining members. Membership retention is very important. And so she's going to place that in the chat. She's also going to place a sample, a link to an electronic guest packet from another club. And she's going to place an article / podcast on the components of a good guest packet. These are additional resources that you can find on the Toastmasters.org website. Wonderful resources, Success 101, membership contest information, everything that you need, you will be able to find it on the website for Toastmasters. Tammy's also going to place where you can go on the website under resources and filter by keyword like membership or membership growth. And that's going to provide a lot of other resources in addition to these that are listed. So we've covered a lot right now. We've shared with you what your role is, what your responsibilities are, and provided some resources. I hope that this information has been helpful for you. I'd like Tammy to launch the final poll of the evening right now. We're going to launch the final poll of the evening after everything that we covered within these last 40 minutes. I want to see, what are you going to try now that we've shared this information? Are you going to build an electronic welcome packet? Which of these suggestions or best practice mentioned today do you think you'll try within your club? And you can select as many as apply. Are you going to build a virtual welcome packet? Are you going to create a virtual guest book utilizing SurveyMonkey or a similar system? Are you going to contact guests within 48 hours? Send virtual greeting cards to members? Organize a fund membership, a building contest? Visit another club that is outside of your state or region? Host a joint meeting with another club? And then if you can't see the poll question, just place your response in the chat box. All right. How's the results coming in, Miss Tammy?
I just shared the poll results.
Oh, well, how come I didn't see those? Read them to me, Tammy, because they're not coming up for me. Oh, I was in the wrong place. Okay, I didn't see it. What were the results, Miss Tammy?
Okay, so for building an electronic welcome packet, 75%.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Woo!
Create a virtual guest packet using Google Forms, 50%.
Yay.
Contacting guests within 48 hours, 50%. Sending virtual greeting cards to members, 50%. Organizing a fun membership building contest, 25%. Visit another club that is outside your state or region, 38%. And have a host a joint meeting with another club, 38%.
Oh, wow, you guys. Hey, if you really do this, your club is going to be even stronger than what it is now. I really hope that you've received just some nuggets to get you going in your role as VP of membership. Some more resources, some more ideas. And I encourage you to make sure that you connect with the past VP of membership and past executive committee, just to make sure that you're bringing over any information that they have for you. Remember, advanced preparation is the key to success. So we're going to just open it up. We've got about 7 minutes for just any questions. I know that there were a lot of questions in the chat. Cindy, I see you raising your hand. So we're just going to open it up. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That is my information again, and I'm sure Tammy put it in the chat as well.
I do have a question for someone that was way previous to get to their first question that was posted in the chat box.
Okay, let's do that one.
Okay, so the question was, how do you conduct an open house online?
Oh, well, you know what, Miss Tammy? I'm gonna let you answer that because you're the one that rocked ours last year. So I'll just share with them really quickly what we did for our open house. That was very successful.
For our open house, well, how do you conduct an open house online? Same as you would do a Zoom meeting. You invite people out. You want to have fun activities. You probably want to have like a contest, a raffle that they can pay through like a Cash App or a Cashing app. You want to have raffle prizes you can give them, trivia questions, maybe table topics, and you just do it like you would do a meeting. It's not as hard. I mean, it's a little trickier, but at the same time, it's just really the same as a meeting. So yeah, just have fun with it. Make it fun. Have a theme. I think we had like people have to bring food. You have to show your food and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes, our upcoming one, and we invite you to our open house if you like to see it in action. It's happening next Thursday at 6:30 on Nubian Voices. And if once you have a theme, everything anchors to our theme. So our theme is food around the world because Toastmasters is international, and we're encouraging folks to whip up that dish, and then they can actually show it and put the recipe in the chat box. So that's what our open house is going to be. And like you said, there's with this in this virtual world, it's so easy to send prizes via Venmo and other cash apps and stuff like that. Good question. Thank you, Tammy. I want to make sure that everyone gets credit for this makeup training. Make sure you place your first, last name, and your club name in the chat box. And if any of you are attending and you're not part of our District 115, but maybe attending from another district, make sure that you put your district in there as well. Any other questions, Tammy?
No one has put anything else in the chat that I noticed. Yeah, I don't see any more questions.
I know Cindy raised her hand. Cindy, do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, coming across as an eager beaver here. Yeah, so my organization sponsors our Toastmasters membership, and because it's company sponsored, we can't include anyone that's not an employee. And so that's been the challenge that we've faced, is that we're not able to really grow our membership because it can only include current employees. But the problem is that, well, besides that problem, it's also because of the nature of the work, it's really hard to pick a time that's convenient for everybody. So when I first joined the Toastmasters here at my company in 2018, we were doing it at, I think, 5:30 in the evening. And there was just a sprinkle of people that came in, but then we lost some members because they left the company, whatever the case may be. Then they changed the time, and so we did reach out to the organization, to employees, say, hey, what's going to get you to join? What can we do to make it more convenient for you? So people were like, oh, if we had meetings in the morning or in the afternoon. So we even tried that. We had scheduled a morning meeting. Nobody showed up. We did an open house, and people said, oh yeah, I'm really, really interested. Nobody signed up. So that's been the biggest challenge that we've been facing, at least, and actually before I even joined in 2018, it's just been really hard trying to build up the membership because of the restrictions.
Okay, let me jump in really quickly, just in the interest of time and being respectful of when we end. To build up the membership, you're going to have to utilize the power of influence. You're going to have to, you should have a club champion, someone that's in the C-suite that's champion or helping to sponsor your club. But their engagement is going to trickle down to directors and managers. And then you guys should be able to get time on their agendas and their actual department meetings to talk about Toastmasters. You're going to have to get buy-in at the higher level of the C-suite and then directors and trickle down. Once they say it's important and they can see people are getting promotions and recognitions because of that, you will have so many people joining your club, it won't even be funny. So I encourage you to get your C-suite involved and committed to your club. Good question, Cindy. Thank you.
We have a
Thank you
question.
very much. I appreciate it.
We have a question in the chat from Dana. When voting in a new member, how do you suggest having them not hear you talk about voting them in? One of our members suggested a breakout room. What do you think?
I agree. That was going to be my suggestion, and I'm sure that was going to be Tammy's suggestion. Tammy is Zoom extraordinaire, so you can always have a breakout room, and that way, when they're in that breakout room, they cannot hear anything that you're saying. I encourage you not to place anything in the chat though, because when they come back, they'll be able to read information in the chat. So everything should be verbally spoken and talked about, but don't put anything in the chat because they'll be able to read it when they come back from the breakout room. Dana, it's great to see you and great question. Thank you. Any other question? You guys are, thank you so
Wait.
much. Oh, was
Grover
there?
raised his hand.
Oh, Grover? Where's Grover? Roll over. Oh, Grover, there you are in the upper right for me. Go ahead, Grover, unmute yourself and ask your question. Maybe you can help him unmute, Miss Tammy, so he can just click. You might be able to just hit the space bar too, Grover, and hold it down and talk too.
Okay. What would you suggest a vice president membership should do in particular when it comes to, shall we say, recruiting?
Recruiting members.
Yes.
I think recruiting one of the things I want to really focus on, you guys, keep your current members happy. Keep the current members happy. They are gonna stay. And then you don't have that turn. Keep the current members happy. It is good to recruit additional members too, of course, but make sure you're keeping those current members happy. And sometimes you got to go and ask them what's missing, what's going to keep you coming back. But the recruiting, as I mentioned, Grover, it's not all on your shoulder. So I say incentivize people when you have contests, whether it's prizes, and then you give them shout outs and you show the results all on your social media and everything like that. But encourage everyone, set goal. You got to have goals. What gets measured gets done. If you don't have any goals, you're just practicing. That's why I said you should have a goal to add one member per month to your club. Have a goal. But within this recruiting, we gave the flyer to all of our members, and we told them to touch broad and wide and invite everyone. People have seen if you're able to speak better, you listen better, you're more confident. They want what they see has transformed in you. So you are the best billboard for your club. Good question. Thank you. Miss Edith.
My question is this. With the COVID-19 going around, a lot of people do not want to be a part of the Toastmaster going on. However, we have a personal number for you to call in on the Zoom. And sometimes we have problems getting on the Zoom. So I want to know what is the best way to work that out when you're recruiting also too. So I asked you two questions in one. How do we get people to work on Zoom so that they can still attend the meeting from Zoom, when we're recruiting them? And second of all, my question is retaining that person and everything. I know that you say doing other things and stuff. We got to know what's going to make that person happy. What, like you said, what are their goals? What are they trying to do?
Yes. And so Miss Edith, when I say touch that guest within 48 hours, when you do that one-on-one with them, when you do that phone call and stuff, that's where you're seeking to meet them where they are. You want to understand where they are, what brought them initially to even want to attend, and what could your club do to help with that goal, pain point, or whatever. And you're saying that people don't want to be on Zoom, like they don't want to be seen, like Cindy's not showing herself, neither is Gerald. Are you saying they don't want to show their faces? Unmute.
I don't think that they don't want to show their face. I think some people, because I usually talk to senior citizens also too. I just think they have
Okay.
of getting on and staying on, or losing their password or something. And I understand, because that has happened to me too.
Yeah,
So,
that the older people, you have to just be a little patient, meet them where they are. Tammy, if you want to chime in anything quickly, please do. Tammy is really creative when it comes to working in Zoom.
I think you probably need to teach everyone how to use Zoom. I know older people have struggled. I do have a packet that I can put in the chat that I created for my Zoom one-on-one, so you can share with your members. Maybe that will help them understand the functionality of Zoom so they won't get frustrated and flustered. And also, I did add your name to the chat, Edith, because you didn't do that. So I just assumed you wasn't savvy with that yet. So I did it for you.
Thank you. Great suggestion. Our last Toastmasters meeting, you guys, because it was the beginning of the year, and our members said that they weren't really comfortable with pathways. So we used the whole meeting except for table topics, and we had a wonderful DTM that's part of our club that actually shared her screen and went through pathways from beginning to end. So make sure you're listening to the pain points that your members have, and then seek to solve those pain points. Any other questions, you guys? Feel free to email me within the information that's in the chat. If you want this virtual background that I just took my favorite background and stuck the Toastmasters logo up there, I'm happy to send that to you. It's a little different than that stodgy stuff that Toastmasters does. It's a little jazzy, right? So I'm happy to send that to you as well. For Tammy and myself, it has been a pleasure to be among you, for you to be engaged and listening. And we just hope that each one of you, your clubs are very successful this season. Take care.
thank you.
Bye.
I added the file for you, Edith. It's in the chat box to download to send to your members and for yourself.
Yes, Tammy did an awesome workshop in the TLI on January 16th. So download that. It was really helpful. Wonderful positive comments. She did interactive. And if you invite her, remember how I told you we're family, Edith? All you have to do is say, Miss Tammy, will you come and do a little workshop for my club? She may say, I would be honored to do that.
Look, I wrote down everybody's name and what club they're from, because I did take that idea of visiting other clubs and going in online. I did take also that Tammy and you, Rose, was excellent in telling me. I've been with Toastmasters for a very long time. I really said this had been the best training that I have had in the Toastmaster family. So thank you so much. Woo-hoo. Holla.
Well, to God be the glory. It wasn't me, but it was him and me. I just say a little prayer and I say, Lord, use me for your purpose, your will, and your glory. So thank you for that feedback. That just did my heart well to know that there was a nugget or two that you could take to take your club to the next level. But I did a speech last year, you guys, called "We're in This Together," about this pandemic and everything. We truly are in this together, and we want every Toastmasters club to be successful. So if there's anything that we're able to do to come into your club and to help it, Toastmasters has always been a family. And out of full, I know you guys are wondering, gosh, she's been a member since 2012. Why ain't she a DTM? I know, because for 5 years I changed jobs and I focused on the job. So I wasn't really going regularly from 2015. I wasn't able to kind of go regularly. There was one club that actually kicked me out. They kicked me out because it was a lunch meeting and I had a lot of meetings at lunch, and they're like, well, this club is really not for you because you're not coming to the meetings as often enough. And I was like, it's my money. How are you telling me when I should come to a club? But you know what? Glory to God. I left that club and I joined Nubian Voices. It's in the evening and I love it. But no club should tell a member, you know, you may need to find another club because you're not here enough. Is that crazy, Edwina?
Yes. I've been in Toastmaster for a long time, and I agree with you on that. I should have been DTM for a long time, but however, I've stayed and stuck with Toastmasters because I love Toastmasters.
I love Toastmasters too. I look forward to it. And you know what? There's blessings in this virtual environment, you all. When we did our mini evaluations workshop, we had people from Africa and other places coming to our workshop. That never would have been able to happen. You are able to attend meetings now that you couldn't even attend. So there, unfortunately, I mean, loss of lives, that's horrendous, but I'm saying that there is a positive that we have to leverage in the midst of this pandemic.
And to respond to you, Rose, I thought that was rude.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, can you believe that? It
Very
really,
rude.
It hurt me, and I knew that that club wasn't for me. To tell me that,
Hey, it's their loss.
yes, it's their loss, because right now within my Toastmasters walk, I've determined that I want to be able to help others. I want to be able to mentor others. I want to be able to help people with standing, breathing, how to stay focused, how to listen. And I find that if someone has a mentor when they come to the club, they're more likely to stay because you're going to be with them in the journey.
Yeah, but don't forget a club. I mean, it's not only to have a mentor, but if the club comes together as one,
oh
and
yes,
supports the guest and of course each other,
yes,
that's huge.
Thank you.
We miss our
Yes.
camaraderie as one.
Yes, we
Able to hug each other. And,
I know.
Yeah.
That's a blessing because you bring the spirit to that person and you allow that person to know that you are
Yes,
and honest. It brings character to you and make you have loyalty and honesty with people. That's what we're talking about.
Miss Tammy, you can stop the recording.
You know, Edith and Rose, I wrote a little something on the Zoom chat